Alright, hey, what's up you guys? In this video I'm going to do a quick review on the CCS Blank Blem boards. Some of them might have the top layer, colored like this. And then the other one, you might just get a blank, regular wood layer. So when I first opened up the box and started taking them out, the black graphic right here started to peel off easy, but of course it stops all the way on the edge, kind of, mostly, but a lot of it just kind of like hanging off. It just, it's kind of left it like that. So just like what the description said on the website, there's really not any defects. It's just they probably messed up on the graphic. As you can tell, you see that, you have the eyes, the nose, they probably messed up, something like that, and then they're like, oh crap, gotta start over, can't sell it. Probably, I mean, that's what they said on their website, just they messed up on the graphics, so might as well sell it as a blank or something. Whatever boards you get, you'll probably see like some kind of messed up graphic or something. You might get some minor scratches like that, but honestly, I don't think it's a huge, don't really think it's a big deal. But I think the only problem from the set that I got, the 5 decks that I got, is this one right here. I don't know if it's gonna be a major problem, but right there, you see this? You see that dent? Look at that. This dent right here, you could tell. Huge dent. I don't know how that happened, but this is probably the only defect board, or minor defect board that I got. Look at that. This is like where the board starts rising up, right? Regular. But then you get this defect right here. I mean, of course it's still rising up, but it's like a dent right there. So I don't know, this might be the board that I might have trouble skating. You see how smooth it is? That transition. Right, smooth. Compared to the other side, look at this, rough, dented. Look at that, you see that? Right there. So this is the only one that's probably a problem, but I really don't mind. This is like, what, $30 a board or something? Maybe 28, 27. So, hey, hopefully you guys don't get any defect boards. It's just the graphic, but I unfortunately got one. So CCS, if you're watching, just know if you get a 4-star review, 3-star review, that's probably why. This is the board that I have currently set up, one of the blank boards. I got 5 of them for like $130, including tax. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick little comparison, what the shape of this board is compared to like what I usually skate. I usually skate blind boards, and let's line it up here. Here, look. The difference is that for the CCS blank boards, it's a bit mellow right here. Like right here, it's kind of mellow, right? It's not as steep compared to like these dwindle boards that I usually skate. You see how steep that is? It just dips down and then kind of goes back up. But you can tell, like the CCS boards, the tail or the nose, they're more steeper, just a little bit steeper than the dwindle boards, just a little bit steeper. But it might make a huge difference for some people. I know for me, especially right here in the pocket, like right where the wheel is, it's a big difference for me, because you see how there's a lot more space right here, like in the wheel area. And I usually skate my wheels fairly loose, but a little tighter. I have the Bones hard bushings. Just yesterday I tightened up my trucks, but before I did that, now when I was skating this CCS board, I'd get a lot of wheel bites. As you can tell, this is only from 12 hours of skating, and I got all this wheel bite. And I'm just kind of confused. I was like, wait, why? Like, what's going on? I didn't get that much wheel bites before. But then, of course, I looked at my board, the blind board. I skated this for way more than 12 hours. And look how much wheel bite I have. It's a lot less than this. And this I only skated for 12 hours. This I skated way more. Look at all that wheel bite. Like I said, it's a lot more space up here. So that's why, like, when I was turning or landing tricks, you know, all that impact, and especially since I was skating slightly loose trucks, and I was even though I have hard bushings, the Bones hard bushings, it would still touch the board, wheel bite, and I just stop rolling, and I kind of fall off my board because I had wheel bite. So for those of you that might be skating looser trucks, you might want to tighten your trucks just so that you don't get a lot of wheel bite. I thought it wasn't going to be a problem, but I guess now it's like one of my first time experiencing something like this, that because of the board shape, I have to change my trucks. All these other times, I loosened or tightened my trucks because of my personal preference. Like, oh, let me try if this will work out with this trick and stuff like that, you know, for personal preference. But now with this board, it was my first time having to tighten my board so it doesn't wheel bite. So just a heads up for those of you wondering about the shape. I just got another blank board, and this is the DGK Josh Kayla's board, limited edition, just for comparison in terms of shape with other brands. Oh, whoops. So with other brands, yeah, it looks like the KO boards are a little steeper than the Dwindle boards, and of course the CCS boards. They're a bit steeper, more concave, like. So yeah, this has more concave this way compared with the CCS board and the blind board. So just for reference, that's what it's like. What this board skates like kind of reminds me of foundation skateboards, if you guys have ever skated that, especially the shape. You know, the tail's slightly smaller than the nose, just like foundation skateboards. The wood, I mean, they're pretty similar. I feel like these CCS boards are a bit more sturdy, stronger than foundation skateboards, in my opinion. Or that's what it felt like, because I remember, like, this foundation skateboard kind of broke. Or not broke, it just kind of chipped or kind of deteriorated, razor-tailed a lot quicker. Especially the way, you know, like this part kind of starts chipping or kind of like starts tearing up. It's a lot better than foundation skateboards, in my opinion. It doesn't like chip off like crazy. The Dwindle boards, blind boards, you know, you already know, like they don't, like they stick together. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I did get a chip. So after a couple of jamming the nose or tail intentionally, and of course after like some razor tail, I kind of chipped the board just a little bit. You see this mark right there? Kind of started chipping. It's one of those chips where it's like, okay, you could just kind of like jam it right back in and it'll stay in place. So that's what it is. But it's a razor tail. That's why usually that happens. Nose, still pretty good. No chips, nothing on the nose, just kind of regular wear and tear. And of course the nose looks kind of like beat up just because it kind of like gets jammed on the ground. Stuff like that. But so far, oh. Is this a jam? Oh, it is a little jam. Or a little crack. It's about to crack. You see this? Like, not the bottom one, but this top one. You see that? You see this? That's a crack about to happen. Maybe. Well, let's take a look. There's that crack right here. Alright, let's just do a little test. This is just this is the old blind board that I used to skate. It's already beat up and stuff, so I'm already assuming it's lighter than a brand new CCS Blank board. What did I say? 2 pounds, 9 3/8 ounce. 2 pounds, 9 3/8 ounce is the blind board. So this is one of the other CCS boards that I got. Let's check it out. 2 pounds, 10 ounces, 5/8. As always, this uses DGK, brand new, have not been skated, but this little zip ties might add a little bit of weight. We'll see. Wow. I knew it felt lighter, but look at that. Let me just center it real quick just to make sure. 2 pounds, 8 ounces, 3/8. So, there you have it. Because I'm so used to blind boards and the way their boards are is right here. I've seen videos, there's this one YouTuber, I think his name was Ben. I'll pop up his channel right here. He was talking about like indie trucks versus thunder trucks. And he mentioned about this spacing right here. And I'm starting to realize how important that is. Because when I do my nollie flips, they're pretty solid. But with this board, for some weird reason, when I do my nollie flips, they don't pop as high, or it's like I have to pop even harder. It's a little weird, but I think I'm pretty sure it's because of this gap right here. The gap from the truck to where the board starts to rise up. So this much space compared to the tail, which is really like not even that much. Once again, I apologize for the background noise. Anyway, so just got to the park and I haven't warmed up yet, so let me just show you how this board performs in terms of pop, slide, and all that stuff. So like I mentioned before, the nose is a little off for me because right here, like this, there's so much space right here. It is a little bit steeper than the other boards that I just showed you, but because of that, it requires more force and there's like a slight delay, or you know, it's like messing up with my reaction time. And I said like before, like my nollie flips are so weird on this board. It's so low. On my blind boards, they're pretty high, like my regular kick flips. But on this board, it's, I mean, like I can still do them. Something's just off. Some of my nollie tricks are off on this board, but my regular tricks like kick flips, straight flips, like, you know, my regular, when I pop on my tail, it's still regular, pretty good, normal. So let me just show you. Board's a little flat than usual that I'm used to, and so that's why I gotta like flick a little harder to do like double flips and stuff. So it's flat. Because the board's flat, sometimes that'll happen. Like, I know I flick pretty hard, but because it's pretty flat, it doesn't flip for me sometimes, and that's what happens. So it's kind of weird. Like I want to go higher, but the board just doesn't want to go as high as me. So yeah, it's kind of weird. All right, let's skate this ledge. It's a decent height. It's about half the length of this board. So yeah. yeah, so I skated this board for about 32 hours now, over a span of 4-ish weeks. So yeah, I would say this board's pretty solid, especially for the price. I bought it in a pack of 5, so it came out to like a price of like, I'd say like $25 per deck, including tax. But then since mob grip tape is not free, it's $5 per sheet. So yeah, so it's about $30 with mob grip tape per deck. And I would say this deck is pretty solid. I kind of like it. Yeah, so for me personally, I do like the pop, especially on the tail. It feels like any other board, like professional boards. Feels like a blind board. Also, I apologize for the background noise. And yeah, I would say like my only issue with this board is like it's a little bit too mellow or too flat for me, and especially right here, this spacing is a little too much for me. It messes up with my nollie tricks. And I would say finally, third is this part right here. It's way too flat or mellow for my liking, or for my loose trucks. Because yeah, like I said before, I had to tighten the trucks. But those are like my only 3 issues or complaints with this board. Other than that, like I really felt no issue with this board. The pop is solid, barely any pressure cracks. I've jumped down a couple stairs already, like 6, 7, 8 stairs, 8 sets. A couple like 2 blocks that are like 4 feet wide, stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, it's pretty sturdy. It took a lot of beating, that's for sure. Like, I was pretty aggressive with it, especially on like rough terrains. It would like, you know, drag, or, you know, kind of get scuffed up like that. Or sometimes I would mess up on a trick, and then, you know, I'd kind of like bail out, and then it would land like that on the ground, the surface, whatever. But it really took a beating, and it's taking its shape, especially right here. Still pretty solid. You know, especially when I was doing nose manny nollie flip out, I'd mess up on the nollie flip out, and then the nose would get jammed on the ground, and it did that a lot, and it's still holding its shape. Usually some other boards that I've skated, if it's like this right now at this condition, and then like I do it a couple more times, like, and I bail and I jam the nose, I'd probably chip. But for this one, it's holding its this is holding its shape pretty well, so that's really good. Overall, I would say it's a good buy if you're on a budget. For $25 to $30 a deck, it's pretty good. I bought 5 of them, 5-pack, so it came out to like $25 per deck. But if you buy it individually, it's like $30, and then you gotta pay for tax and shipping, so it's almost going to be maybe $40 for this deck. But for me, it was around 25. So I personally like to skate boards when the tail and the nose like kind of like chip off, and there's like a big chunk that's gone. That's like the sign, like, all right, yep, too much razor tail and it's chipping. I'm gonna switch the board. So yeah, this might literally last me, depending on how often I skate, it might last me another month. So that's pretty good. So especially for beginners, this might last you a while. But if you're an experienced skater like me, yeah, probably 30, 40 hours, depending on, you know, how aggressive you are. And of course, maybe your weight might make a big impact. I'm about 145 pounds. That's why there's barely any pressure cracks, even though I jumped down some stairs. No slides, lip slides, board slides, all that stuff. I was never worried about it snapping on me. Pretty good. I think overall, I'd give this board like an 8 out of 10. My honest opinion. 8 because, like I said, my complaints with this board. But, so yeah, I hope this video is able to help you with your decision on whether or not you should get this board. My personal opinion, I think it's a great buy, for especially for $25 to $30 boards. You can't go wrong with that. The pop is pretty good, shape is pretty solid, especially if you like mellow shape. But for me, I prefer a little bit more concave, but I was still able to skate pretty good with this. So really no complaints. Didn't really crack or chip on. This board didn't snap on me. I don't think I think the only board I ever snapped was an anti-hero board. All the other boards I've skated, I've never ever snapped. I've never focused the board too, so I just take care of my board well. If I mess up, I just mess up. I don't really, whenever I get frustrated or angry, I don't like lash out on the board and like toss the board or anything. I just kind of like calm down and just, you know what, let me try it again. So if you take care of your board, it will last a pretty long time, and you know, you could really utilize the board to its full potential, make the board worth it, you know. I really enjoyed getting this board, and if you decide to get this board, I hope you enjoy skating it. And that's pretty much it. Click that like button and also click the subscribe button for more content in the future. Peace out.